Cortavius here doing something I don't normally do. I'm going to do a takeover video. So got a guy in my clan who's trying to beat Hard Doom Tower, stuck on the Eternal Dragon. Thought, I can help him out. Why not? So let's get into it. All right, so Hard Doom Tower 120. Typically, if I'm doing this, what I'd do is I'd pop into the optimizer, team suggestions, load up his account and see, all right, so what's the optimizer recommend here? So let's take a look at that. So I popped in the optimizer and zero teams with his champs have beat this stage while logged into the optimizer. We have our work cut out for us here. This might be one of those failed takeovers. We just don't get it done. No one ever has. So can I do what no one in Raid has ever done? I guess we're about to find out. So let's go take a look.
Hey, before we go on, click the link in the description right now and you can get the great legendary poisoner, Narma, along with 3 epics. You get Anax, Mausoleum Mage, and the best epic in the game, Uugo, as you progress. All you have to do is follow 4 steps. Step 1, log out Play and Play on the PC and uninstall. Step 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Step 3, launch Raid, complete the tutorial. And Step 4, go to your inbox, Narma's there waiting. These 4 free champions will give you an insane head start in Raid, so click on that link before it expires.
So this boss takes some good stats. You need 250 speed if you want to go before the boss. The boss has 15% crits, so if you can lower his crit rate, he's not going to hit as hard, or lower his attack. You need 355 accuracy and 455 resist if you want to resist the boss. And why might you want to resist the boss? So the boss can block all active skills on his A1. And that's the A1. That means he can do it every time he uses that skill. So if he's blocking active skills, then, you got to have some kind of reset for your team, ability to get back, A1s that can be useful, or you put that big pile of resistance on so he can't block your skills, or choose which champs you do that on. So he can put fear, once again, good to resist. Got another skill that puts all enemy skills on cooldown. So he loves to put the skills on cooldown. For every one that he does, he boosts his turn meter. He summons some minions. Those minions are a pain. If you don't kill them, he does more damage with them. And he's immune to just about everything. Yeah, block active skills, block passive skills. You can put his skills on cooldown, though. You can't do it through a debuff, but like a Warlord or an Alice can put his skills on cooldown, which is quite helpful. But once again, that A1 can put your skills on cooldown. So it's not perfect, but it can definitely help him do less damage. So that's the boss. We can see he's tried Fabian, which is good for putting the skills on cooldown. He's got Rector Drath, which is good for decreased attack on the boss and brings a revive. He's got a double shot at putting the skills on cooldown. Tagore is a good champ, revive and some skills, and then a DPS. So not a bad strat. So probably not a good sign that that's not working. Oh, we'll see. What champions do we have to play with? So we have Fabian and Alice, as we said. So he's picking his top chance up here. We do have Chronom on here. That's interesting. Ursula is a good champ for this boss, too. No resistance on her, though. But she could be useful because she can put decreased attack on the boss and also do some revives. Without Geomancer, that's going to be the big problem here is he has no Geomancers on the account, who's really helpful on this boss for epic champs. So I've got to look for somebody that can do similar passive damage like that. In his vault, he's got a couple interesting champs which aren't built, unfortunately. So Mother Cybele would be great because she can put the revive on Death Up and do a health swap to help the team alive. And Aax, I wish his Aax was built because Aax is a great champ that does decreased crit rate and decreased attack so that the boss can't crit you and the minions, which helps keep the team alive. So a built Aax would be really helpful. All right, so I'm going to take this team in and just see what his existing team actually does and then see what work we need to do. So I'll bring it back at the boss. So I saved all the abilities, so he should put the skills on cooldown, which he did. We got Tholan doing some damage. I saved Alice's ability so she wouldn't use it right away. Well, he put the skills on cooldown, so we don't have any resistance on these champs, so she wasn't able to use that ability. Tholan's not killing those ads as fast as we'd like, and we're back on cooldown again. So having no resistance on his champ is clearly a problem, and his DPS is not doing enough damage to be able to offset that. And our Reviver has no resistance, so she's not going to be able to use her abilities anyway. And we've got a second Reviver who also has no resistance, so everybody's gonna die fast. Okay, no shot with that team. So we're gonna have to do some work here. Let's go build some champs. All right, I built the Chronom and Damarza team. I have those two geared. There's not a lot of glyphs and not a lot of gear in the account, so did what I could. So I got him in regen. He may die horribly in this, and I can't keep him alive, and I'll have to try something else. But I wanted to try the regen. I just don't know if I have enough HP and defense. And I put Damarza. I couldn't give her accuracy on this build, just not enough stats on the account. So I gave her resistance. So she can heal, she can revive if she stays alive. So I went HP defense. I'll show you the stats at the end if this works. And then these three, I just put in whatever they had. I didn't build them yet. We're going to see if the Chronom solo can work. If not, I'll probably have to go back and build these champs. Fabian has enough accuracy to put the skills on cooldown at the start of the fight, and then he'll be useless. So these three will just die. Wukong, I'm figuring if I'm put champs in that are useless anyway, he'll at least keep popping up and maybe do a little damage and speed things up. So it's just going to be whether she can keep him healed enough and whether in 4 turns he can get his revive on death back. I think what's going to happen is he's going to die in shorter than 4 turns, and he's just the run's going to end. But I kind of want to see what it does before I go start building like Rector Drath and others, because I'm spending silver on this account. So let's see how it goes. So I did make a preset to get through the waves. So everybody has everything off except for Tholan, who's just there to clear the waves, and then we'll get to the boss. I'll bring you right back. All right, we're at the boss. Fabian skill cooldown. That landed. That's good. So now we'll see. We're not landing any HP burns. That's going to be a problem. Well, that definitely hurt Chronom. He's not healing by too much. That's also a little concerning. Actually, crap, I got to put Chronom back in the lead. Chronom's supposed to be in the lead. I need his accuracy. I need his accuracy on that aura. So let's just see how this goes. But I need to rerun it with Chronom in the lead. I forgot about that. I can't have Fabian in the lead. But I'm curious just to see what happens without him there. He's still landing his... Oh, see, she's down. He's not going to get the 4 turns in probably. So he doesn't look like he has enough HP. He is going to die. Yeah, he needs more HP. All right, well, we made more progress on the boss. Oh, wait, he came back up. So the 4 turn worked. We're still alive. We're dead. Well, look at that. Halfway through. So I do think some better healing could work. I don't think... Wukong did take out 400,000, so he wasn't useless, but not much. All right, well, progress. I think we do need some more healing on the team, or I can't have Chronom in that regen, but I don't know how else I'm going to get him the healing. So let's see. All right, bringing Tagorin in the lead. He's not geared to do his job, so I had resistance to him if this doesn't work, but he at least gives me a 25% HP aura, so we're going to see if just giving Chronom a little more HP can make it work. This isn't going to work, but we're going to try before I try and go build more champs. I'll bring it back. All right, we're back at the boss. Put some skills on cooldown, and then he'll die. Let's see if... I didn't see... Did Husk do his job? We have not reduced much HP of this boss. So we want to see if Chronom can get more healing back now that he's got 25% HP, because this is all about him just staying alive. So we are doing some damage with the Berserker's Delight. I'm hoping that Damarsa's still healing him since they're both on the same team and not healing the guy in the lead. Yep, she did. She healed him, and boom, he does his Berserker's Delight again. So those two are working, but Damarsa's going to die. Really would like to have her in regen. So Tagore actually healed some people there. That was nice. He wasn't frozen or dead or locked out. All right, Berserker's Delight goes again. Chronom back to full health. Damarsa's going to die, though, and that's going to hurt us. So that's going to reduce my ability to keep him alive, 'cause she is my big healer, and she's dead. All right, Chronom solo. Does he have enough HP? No, he doesn't. Dead. But he's back from the dead. He doesn't have enough HP to do this 4 turns, though, does he? Yikes. Too much hits. Too many hits. Down he goes. Man, 1/4 of that boss left. I do think if I get one more healer with some resistance, or give Fabian some resistance to put those skills back on cooldown, that might be doable. Let's see. Let's try this one manual. We're going to put the skills on cooldown. He doesn't do anything with that, so we'll wait for the adds to come back out. Increase speed would be good. Can't use his skills. Wonder if we can avoid using that. He gets his burns out. Got the burns out. Decrease attack on the boss for the first time. Lock out the ads. Can only A1 anyway. Now we can use Berserker's Delight. She can heal. Doesn't have any burns to activate though. I think we can save that heal. Keep decrease attack on the boss. Reduce the skills cooldowns again. Oh, he didn't land the... Oh, he did. Lock that dude out. Attack the boss again. She actually probably needs to heal herself more than anything. We're going to lose Fabian. How did he get those skills back so fast? Crap. Bring Fabian back. We are too low on health. Didn't land the decrease attack. And now she's gone. Don't think doing it randomly is going to work either. Or manual. Now we don't have decreased attack. And he's dead. Hey. Alright, trying something different this time. We're going to bring Alice in with enough resistance and accuracy to land her abilities. So I'm going to try with 2 champs that can lock down skills. Can we get our skills back fast enough to keep the boss from doing his big hits? We do need Rector Drath to do her job and land some decreased attacks too, because that's going to be important. Alright, so we can heal a target ally. We do have Chronum in the lead. We're going to try and save that again like we did last time, because we'd like him to land the burns first. She did. Put up the decreased attack, thank you. So she still has 2 turns left. So we don't want to do the... She's not hitting for much because she does not have any damage in her build. So we can't do much with that. You can increase the duration. So we want to keep using him. So, so that's really helpful if Chronum can land those abilities on the boss. Yeah, so I don't know that we have enough healing, though, to keep everybody alive is the problem. Because all I have is a single target healer. So I actually think instead of activating those burns, I'm going to have to just try and keep champs alive. And then maybe that allows me to stop the ads from doing much work, too. And if we can put decrease attack on the ads, which Rector Drath's not helping with. So he put her skills on cooldown. Okay, that's RNG, and that's frustrating because she has enough abilities. I didn't realize she had smite. I should have put that on the boss. Crap. All right, we got some work done there. We are going to lose people here, though. Yeah, they're still putting the skills on cooldown. That's just frustrating. Yeah, there goes Rector Drath. So I lose my decreased attack. How do we not get the skills back? So that looks like crappy RNG. He should have got his skills back on time. Well, let's run her again. Alright, let's see if we can do it with better RNG this time. So skills on cooldown, which is what we needed. We'll A1 there. Ads are out. Would be nice if Rector Drath would go before the boss so we don't take that big hit. So we can heal Fabian. Get the HP burns out. Rector Drath, land your decrease. She didn't land decrease attack. That's a killer. That's a real killer. So we're going to take another hit. Let's freeze the ads, blow some HP burns up, so she's not getting healed. Decrease attack. So, Rector Drath, you suck. Unreliable Rector Drath is a real problem. Put the skills on cooldown, and we lost to Marsa. Now Rector Drath lands something. Everybody's already dead, Rector Drath. How does he get those skills back so fast? I got 2 people putting skills on cooldowns, and he still gets the skills back. How is that possible? We don't get enough healing. That regen set's just not working. I think we got to take Chronum out of that regen. All right, maybe my last attempt at failing horribly here. I brought the rat in. We're going with Nisha. I don't have enough resist on Fabian, I've noticed, so he's getting his stuff put on cooldown. I just don't have enough gear on this account to do both resist and accuracy on multiple champs. So I got to do with what I got here. Not much I can do. He doesn't have enough resist, so he's not going to land his bombs, actually. Oh, we got one up there. She can heal somebody. Let's take our chance on the rat. Some burns out there. Don't need the cooldown yet, so let's attack somebody. Should have attacked the boss to get that smite. Crap, that was dumb. All right, well, let's lock out the ads. Do some berserk. All right, we can get some bombs out there. Decrease the duration of bombs. That did not do as much damage as we were hoping for. I have to admit that. And he puts Demarsa on cooldown when she's got a ton of resist. That's frustrating too. All right, put the skills back on cooldown. Done. A1, so we extended the decrease attack. That's good. Didn't land any bombs on the boss, and he's dead. Dead enemies, dead allies. We're going to lose the Marsa anyway, though. Get the burns back out. So we don't need the skill cooldown yet, so we'll hold that. Wait, the boss just had no skills. He had everything on 2-turn cooldown, and he still took a turn? How's that possible? He wasn't supposed to be able to take a turn yet. Yeah, that's beyond frustrating, isn't it? Apparently I don't understand the boss. Dang. Well, we definitely need to keep people alive longer, or we're gonna die. I just don't think this is possible. Well, that didn't work well at all last time, so let's just try it again. Second 48th time certainly is the charm. I don't know if she has it back, though. Well, we're down to 30% again. I don't have my HP burn yet. There's no burns really worth using that on. He's not going to heal. He just does not heal enough. Well, he's back, and he's dead. There's just no healing on that regen. Yeah, hey, I think we're going to have to call it here. It's a fail. So, some lessons learned here. You definitely need the stats for the boss, particularly this boss. So, some of the champs I was using, I didn't really show the builds, but I was moving champs. So, like Alice, I did get in 459 resistance and 344 accuracy, and I had Chronom Aura, so she was at 394 accuracy. So, enough resistance and accuracy to keep her abilities alive. That definitely helps on this boss. So Fabian, for example, I couldn't get the resistance and the accuracy and the speed on him for this mode. So he has the accuracy, but he just doesn't have the resistance. So his skills get locked down. The boss just uses that skill a lot. So you've either got to do enough damage to just kill the boss before it can do its work, or you got to have champs that use A1 skills that are helpful, or you got to have the right resistance on those builds. So I just don't have enough healing on the team using those champs. So, Demars, I also had in enough resistance so she could keep healing and reviving. But even with 62,000 HP and 2,600 defense with no regen, she didn't get her health back fast enough. That's not enough healing on the team. So I tried the double skill reduction, but only one of them had enough resistance, so that just wasn't enough. Nishak was actually interesting and helpful. He did some damage with the bombs and the decreased attack, but he also doesn't have enough stats to keep him around. So the Chronom Demarsha strat, you could see I had the boss down to 30% health. So that strat was working. If I had better regen on the account and Immortal, I could... that definitely would have worked, but he just doesn't have enough HP. With only 39,000 HP, I can't get enough HP to have that regen give him enough healing. I mean, he's got 469 resistance and 350 accuracy with the aura, so he's got to have those stats. He's got to land his abilities, and he's got to resist the boss. But then you got to have enough regen left, good enough regen to get the HP up so that he can get enough healing off it. And that it just doesn't exist on this account. So we got him down to 30% health, and we just couldn't keep Chronom alive. And then there's just not enough champs on the account that can keep him alive. So farm and regen would definitely be my advice here. When there's that Fire Knight boost for a regen, he's got to farm Fire Knight. And the other one is building the champs that could help in this content. Geomancer he doesn't have. Geomancer's really helpful because it reduces the boss damage that the boss does. The other one would be in his vault. He has Aax. Aax is a great champ for this fight because Aax can do both. Hold on. Aax does poisons on his A1, which is helpful because if he's locked out on his skills, he can just keep putting poisons on the boss, which does damage. And then his passive is every time he's hit, increases the duration of 2 random debuffs on the attacker. So he could extend the HP burns of Chronom. He can extend the decreased attack if it gets up there, and it occurs once per hit. So when that boss hits him, he keeps extending those debuffs. Now, if you put resistance on him, then he can put the decreased attack and decreased crit rate out there. So what you can do is you can just build him with accuracy, have him come in, put the decreased attack, decreased crit rate, and then rely on his passive to extend those debuffs and not even put resistance on him. And then his A1 will land the poisons, his passive extends the poisons, and the decreased crit rate, decrease attack. Now, if you put resistance on him, he'll be able to replace those if they drop off. But you only have to beat this boss once. So if it's me, I build him with accuracy, HP, and defense and have him survive and skip the resistance and then if those drop off, just restart the run and try again. So Aax would be crazy for this attack because he can stop the boss from critting. So the boss can never do a crit attack on you, and you decrease his attack, and you put the A1s on the poison. So Aax would definitely be a champ to build for this fight. If you get a Jarag or a Vogoth, those would help with healing. With resistance, then you'd get your heal back on Aax as well. But as I said, for the gear he has on this account, you probably can't build an Aax strong enough. So just put accuracy, HP, defense on him and let his passive and his A1 do the job. So Aax is built for this fight. I mean, he would be fantastic in here. But he's only level 40, so that's a champ that would be great to build. And honestly, he's useful in a lot of places, so a good investment. Aax is a really good epic champ. All right, well, that'll call it. It's a fail, but hopefully there was something interesting in there for you. If you made it this far, then there must have been. So for all three of us still watching, appreciate you still being here. Have a great day.